Hey everybody, it's me again, funkdoc, and this time we have a two-player game with one of the most expensive possible map configs for USA in 2 and 3-player games, that being Red, Purple, and Aqua, so we have the full West Coast experience here. I want to say I think the build here is just do one of the twins. I think that's what you do here. Just take one of these twins, and then the other player would probably take like the other twin in Billings in response, and then in which case I would look to take Santa Fe and then expand eastward. Would be my thinking. Anyway, I'm not paying $6 for the 4 plants. Like in 2-player in general, I basically never do that. Because with Plant 4 in a 2-player game, you're still going last in the turn order. You still get the worst spot in the turn order, so... Yep. And that's the obvious build and response, which is fine. Now my move is to take Santa Fe, so that I can go into the southwest. And that also opens up more expansion options for me to go east. I get more reasonable connections to go pretty much anywhere eastward from Santa Fe. Funny thing, when I first used to play, when I started out playing this game, I used to think that like Santa Fe was a great starting city on these kinds of maps. I didn't fully appreciate at the time just how bad it is to start in the Southwest, because you both corner yourself and stick yourself with expensive cities early on. It's the worst of both worlds. Pretty much the only time I've ever seen good players start in this region is in like a 6-player game. And even then, you often don't need to do that. Anyway, forgetting to mark plants off here. As per usual in a 2-player game, I kind of have to pass and give my opponent the 10 when I take the 8, which is fine. This means that I'll get bottom in the turn order up next, which could potentially land me the 15, which might rather have than the 13. 15's a better fit as because it kind of replaces the 8. Like 15's much more efficient than running the 8 and 13 together, you know? What I think Amit should do here is not build, but he's going to build. Okay. This lets me build and burn this extra oil that I have sitting here. This is why in this situation, when I'm the player with the 10, I won't build, because that forces my opponent to stay at 2 cities if they want to stay below me in the turn order, and that means they'll have a good chunk less money because they can't use that oil that they have sitting stored there. Alright. I'm thinking about what to do here, because 13's not the greatest plant for me, but it's a much better plant for my opponent than 15 is right now, because 15 doesn't do much to improve on the 10. The 10 and the 13 together kind of function like the 15, but with better turn order. I think I'll still bid on this a little bit. One more time. I'll bid one more time on this. Okay. Now we'll have to see if Amit takes the 15 or not. And he does not. Okay. So this creates an interesting situation now. Alright. What I should do now is I should probably just build I want to take Kansas City anyway. That's just a good idea. So I think I do it this way. I'll leave me with 1 extra coal for next turn. I can make more money on this turn. Use the last of my oil from before. I just want to block all the direct connections my opponent has to the east. So this way, like, Amit would have to jump if they wanted to go into here. Because what I'm going to do on this turn is buy the 15, and I'll be willing to just drop the 23 for my opponent. I'm okay with that in this situation. Because I really need to replace the 8 here. This is not going to be good, especially with me this high up in the turn order. Well, that's not great news. On the other hand, this is justifying my 13. That the market essentially gets stalled by a turn here with this crap happening. That's fine. I'm okay with this. Let me think about this. Okay. I'm still going to do this to attack my opponent here. Amit's going to protect the West Coast, and I'm just going to build. Like, I am going to build to 6 now. I think now with Amit having the 9, that kind of... I don't know. Does it favor me to move the market here, really? I think probably it does. Amit's going to pass and go for the 23. Could potentially get 20 or 21 drop, which would be kind of a disaster for me. Or that, too! That could also happen. Okay, I think that's putting Amit in a clear lead now. I'm pretty sure. Even though I'm looking really strong for the builds... My opponent's got Amit here. He's got a lot more going on in terms of plants. So, The question is, would I want to build 7 out of the game? All right. Because I still have enough to build a city here. Just 1. I think that's the play. And sure enough, a low plant came, so I'm very glad I did this. Now, because 23 would have been pushed out of the market if I didn't make that build there. Build 7 out of the game. We might actually get into a bidding war over 23 here, maybe, if it stays on. Hey, it stays on. Okay. Sure. Okay. Now I'm feeling like I've got the edge in plants again. The fact that I'm making Amit by 16 this late in the game, that feels like a win to me. Like, 23 is something I could potentially keep as an endgame plant. So I'll be looking for that. If I can land a 5 capacity plant before step 3. Like, having a 5 plus the 3 here, that means I only need a 6, 7 to reach 21 total, which is what I want. I don't think I need to buy extra coal at this point. Alright. Oh, trying to cut me off here. I see how it is. I see how it is. Unfortunately, this would require me to jump in order to reach 11 cities. But this is an expensive jump here. I can't even afford it. I can't even afford the connection cost right now. So yeah, I think I just don't build in this situation. I think it's what I do. Okay, so, hey, 27 stays on. This is what I want. With the way this market's looking, I'm taking it. I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. I'm glad Amit is buying 31 right now. I'm glad. Because now with the number of cities I have, I don't even need any coal to power them. I can just stay where I'm at here. Also, with him buying 31, I'm guaranteed to go bottom next turn. So there's that. And now I'm at least been steadily using 15 to keep coal from getting cheap. So that's important for keeping 31 in check here. Like, I would rather have 27 at cost than 31 at cost at this stage of a 2-player game. Straight up. So we know that 50 and 40 will be the next 2 plants to go under the deck. 2 highest plants that were left that could possibly be drawn. Yeah, I am just going to buy the uranium here. And probably not build this turn. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to use my nuke to empower all my 7 cities here and stay bottom. Usually buying 3 capacity plants is a sign you're losing in a game like this. But here, I'll gladly take it. Plus, me being bottom prevents my opponent from buying the 11, so that's nice. I'm really waiting to get a 5 cap, like a plant that powers 5 cities, is what I'm hoping for in this situation. Now, what it could do, a jump to get LA and San Francisco would still be worth it. I think what I'd do here is just buy my 2 coal and build. Because at worst, I can take an efficient 4 capacity plant. I can take like 21 or 24. Worst case scenario with, you know, me building now. Hopefully that gives me but building a plant out this turn will give me more chances of a 5 cap plant appearing in the next turn. That's what I really want. Plus, I want to move the market with my opponent having more capacity than me. I want to push the game towards step 3 sooner. So I think this will be the play. I don't think I want to store extra coal. Because 15 would be the next plant I replace, and I'm not sure that it'll be with another coal plant. So I don't want to store extra coal here. But yeah, I'm just going to build a shitload here. That's my plan. Yeah, I'll do that. Like, even this big of a jump here, to land 2 step 1 cities, that's actually worth the cost of the jump. Because the jump was an extra, what, 17? Oh, and 25. Cool. That is the plan I was looking for. Okay. What this means is I think I don't burn the coal, actually. I think that's my move. Because if I don't buy that, I could buy 21 and just replace that over 15 also. Alright, 25 stays on. Beautiful. We're actually going to be to step 3 after this, so yeah. See, I made a very good decision not to run coal on the 15 last turn here, you see? Okay, 28 that's a good move for Amit. He wants to drive up my uranium, which is nice. That's a very good move for him. 28 is still a very efficient plant. All right. I don't think I want to store the extra uranium. I think I do want to store the extra coal. That would be the main incentive for Emmy to stay below me in the turn order, is if I didn't buy coal. Because then he'd be able to threaten the buyout on me. But I want to make sure to have coal stocked so I can actually afford to run the 25 this turn. See, and he still stays below me anyway, so I guess I've been better off buying the uranium. Oh well. Oh well. Okay. The problem here is 36 is untouchable for me. 32 is perfectly fine, though. I could go for 32, and that's probably not going to be too hotly contested of a plant. Yeah, 32 will be nice. It'll make good money for me. Because Amit could very well replace... Oh, Amit didn't even run... Huh. Okay. Yeah, I think we replace this, so that way we don't have to run the 25 this turn. I can do, 6 plus 3+3, so I can already power 12 cities just with the nuke and the green and the oil here. All the cheap stuff. That's why I'm replacing the 13 here, is this allows me to power more cities without having to burn or store extra coal on this plant. Because I'm not going to end the game this turn, I should be able to end it next turn, though. 35, very good choice for Emmy to drive up oil for me. Even opts to replace the 18, probably just so in the interest of driving up oil more for me. So, that's a reasonable play. I'm not going to store extra oil. Emmy's likely going to build above me in the turn order. So, yeah. It's funny, Amit kind of ended up wasting money with that extra uranium buy last turn if he wasn't even going to use it. Although it did hurt me also, so I mean, maybe it was fine. Yeah, there's the extra oil play. And don't forget my nuke. Cannot forget my uranium. What I want to do is hope that Emit's going to build above me, which is good. 35 versus 32 as top plant. Yeah, I can just no build, stay here. And now, 36 will actually be safe for me. So I can get to 21. That's my play. Power my 12 cities this way. Well, first I got to do some calculimitation, though. Because I do have some expensive cities in the southwest, so I'm not even sure I could end the game this turn. I assumed I could, but maybe I shouldn't be so sure. All right, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, okay. Well, the problem is, I was trying to think of a way that I could end the game here, but I can't. Cannot end the game, so I think the play for me is just... I need to think here. Do I think Emmy has the money to end the game this turn is the question. Because here's the thing. Here's the deal. I could gobble up a ton of oil this turn. Drive up price for that pretty good for Amit. No, you know what? I haven't even been keeping track of all the plants that have been drawn yet. If we go to another turn, I'll be guaranteed to get a better 7 capacity plant. This is tricky. I think my play here is to just say, if I can't end the game, then I think I have to hope that Amit can't end the game either, is what I'm thinking. Because next turn I should almost be almost guaranteed to get a better 7 capacity plant. As long as I stay bottom again. This is what I'm thinking here. Thinking. Like this. Okay, the safe play for me here would be to just buy 36 now and build. Just buy 36, store resources, and just go out and build. That would be the safe thing for me to do, quote unquote. But I'd make more money if I were to just wait for another turn. And I can't help but feel like I've been making more money than Amit. There was 18 at cost, though. But I managed to get some decent plants of my own pretty quickly, so how much did that matter? Man, this sucks. Sure enough, there's 38. Well... yeah. I'm going to have to hope that if I can't end the game, that Amit can't end either. Okay. Amit buys coal. That is good. Because if Amit were thinking... taking a big risk here. Damn it. He had the money. Okay. If that were the case, I think he might have won next turn anyway. I'm not sure. Power 18 leaves him with 156. Okay, so just $11 left. All right. Yeah, very well done to Amit. Not buying a plant on that turn was a very smart decision on his part, I gotta say. Put me in such a tough spot. I'm thinking ultimately, even if I'd bought 36, I probably would have lost on money next turn anyway. Because then 38 would have come, and Amit could have, bid for 38, and I wouldn't really be able to touch it. 38 or 50, though 38 actually would have been cheaper, even. But yeah, I think Amit likely would have won anyway. This is interesting. I guess it was all about that 18 it cost, because I'm really surprised. I thought I had better plans throughout this game. I guess it came down to 18 it cost, just that one drop out of nowhere. Now I'm beginning to see what Stein talks about, what Stein and especially J-Bode, when they talk about 18 at cost being a game winner in 2-player. I'm seeing that here because I feel like I did everything else better than Amit in this game. But the 18 drop was the one thing that apparently did it. So, lesson learned. I mean, in this case, 18 came out of nowhere. It wasn't on deck. But even still, 18 at cost is a monster in 2-player. You almost have to treat it like, 20, 21 or 25 or 26 in that regard. So anyway, congrats to Amit, and see you later.